Good for you, don't have too many holding patterns.
That's because I do a lot of yoga.
True that. Can't believe this is on video.
Well, it's recording.
Exactly my fucking point. Welcome to the show. This is my co-host.
Hello.
The whitest yogi ever.
I don't know, man. There's some Actually, yeah, I'm probably up there.
Oh, God. All right. I'm chilling.
Well, we might actually leave that in there. I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
actually really funny.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mogul Talk.
Episode 2. My name is Lachlan Renfro.
I'm Roger Nichols, and we're going to just dive right in. So, today we also filmed our second train video,
Yeah.
and Lachlan crushed a fucking PR.
Yeah, actually, so I'd never gone more than 405 on flat bar deadlift, and I'd done it for, like, repped it out before, which, but I had never actually gone above that. So I did 425, and then right after that, I did 455. The coolest part was, like, beyond the weight, just getting the weight up, but the coolest part was by far the fact that the form was so clean.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was, I think the starting position could have been a little bit better, but, like, once I got off the ground, there was no part of it that looked bad. Honestly, not to brag here, but like, it honestly looked like videos when I watch like strongmen deadlifting.
Yeah.
And like it just looked like you'd just see the glutes like fire at the right moment and just lock it out, and then the top just like it was.
It was really. I'm stoked on that edit. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out because that'll come out before this video.
Yep.
But how long have you been deadlifting?
I think I started deadlifting. I was one of the, maybe December. When I started, so like my first year lifting, so December my junior year, and I'm a freshman in college now. It was probably my first time, and I was literally throwing around like, 225 was like my freaking PR at that time. It was just kind of funny to think about now. But that was back in Pittsburgh, back in Club 1, we had actual iron plates. So when you slam them, it would make a gigantic fucking racket and piss everyone off. So there was a fine balance you had to stick to there. And then actually what kicked it off the most was when I started to get it up to actually 405 the first time, was actually, I took a yoga class for a semester, like literally at Fairview High School. They had just an entire class, like an hour a day, just go and do yoga. I did that, it's kind of just exposure, but it actually helped improve my mobility enough so I could get into better positioning. And so, like, I basically activate those motor units the right sequence. So that was really where it kind of started, and yeah, so today was just kind of, I messed around a lot with the trap bar deadlift, practicing that one, doing farm work carries, and, kind of overall just trying to improve the form, continue. I'm never really satisfied with the form, but today that was definitely a victory. So, yeah,
I feel like it's so important, dude. Like, just, like, even getting back in there, like, this was my first time deadlifting since, like, end of September, beginning of October. I broke my collarbone, like, October 10th or something.
Yeah.
And so it was so nice to actually just, like,
you threw up really good weight for that. Like, I've not given you I've not complimented you on that yet. Like, that's actually, like, to be able to throw around the weight that you did for the volume you did for as long as you did, that's really freaking impressive considering what happened with the collarbone.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I was pulling what I did for 1 rep today for 5. But so it was nice to basically just do like 5 singles of that.
Definitely, yeah.
Because then I essentially just got the volume in through number of sets.
Absolutely.
Which Ellie Holst talks about that in the video too. He's like, if you're trying to like relearn a movement, because part of that is I'm also trying to make sure that I'm doing it correctly and not fucking it up.
Yeah, totally.
So it's nice to just do singles, doubles, or triples, and just like really like ingrain those motor engram patterns into my brain again.
I'm actually going to take a different stance here on that. It's interesting. Now, I haven't watched the Elliot Holst videos on this yet, and of course you have that background there. I've actually found, for me personally, my favorite set for that, for actually learning the proper form and for practicing it, actually 2 set structures. One is the 5x5, and I like 5 reps as opposed to 2 or 3 or even 1, because it gives you more time to get into it. Because I find that, incline bench is a great one to use a 5x5 on, where it's like, that first rep, okay, sure, it's fine. But really, 2, 3, 4 are the really good ones, and then 5 you're kind of starting to get that last one up. But you get that meat there, and the more reps you have, not too high, but you have a solid number of reps there. That I think is your strike zone. Or you can have a pyramid, in which case you're you're increasing the weight and dropping the number of reps. You're able to just continually practice that form in the beginning with high reps, and then later on, then you get to incorporate like the 1 rep max and kind of, or 1 rep max, and see how the weight affects your form over time. So both of those are actually ones I recommend personally, but you know, I also have not seen enough Elliot Hulse on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of whatever you want to do. I think the most important thing there is definitely like making sure to not let the ego drive that. You know what I mean? Like someone's like, oh yeah, I'll start at 135 on incline bench. It's like,
yeah,
no, you fucking won't. You're scrawny. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely there's a bit of a reality check you have to go through, and also what's more than that, this is such an important point I want to mention. I respect the hell out of anyone who goes in the gym, and if they're trying to get the best form they possibly can, and they're doing the bar with 5s on each side, and they're inclined, whatever, okay? Don't ever worry about the weight. It's such an important point. Don't ever worry about what you're actually pulling. Focus on how you're doing it. I think that's actually a pretty good parallel for life, really. But especially, yeah, you know, and because it's going to increase over time. But I respect the person who's got the 5s on the bar and doing perfect form for like a real workout. He's there every single day or every single week, getting his stuff done, you know, paying his dues. I respect that so much more than the kid who shows up, and honestly, I did this for a period of time, throws on a solid amount of weight, you know, it's like, you know, getting almost the respectable level, and then promptly does shitty form, and then has to do the roll of shame at the end because he can't get it up, and then not to mention the fact that he just put his shoulders at risk.
Oh my god, dude, like...
I did that when I went to Costa Rica the first time I got sick, and then I came back and tried to do like 5 pounds lighter than my previous, or 10 pounds lighter than my previous bench. Dude, it was fucking painful to watch. Like, I had like the other people in the gym around me, this back in Pittsburgh, the people in the gym around me were like, just like watching me in the mirror to make sure I didn't drop it on my neck and kill myself. Like, that's not good. So, luckily I kind of graduated beyond that point.
How'd you figure that out? How'd you figure out you were fucking that up?
What, the form?
Yeah.
Or, well, I mean, it was just because I couldn't do the weight. Like, I was trying to do, you know, 5x5 with, you know, I can't even remember what it was at the time. It was flat bench with like 165, and I just couldn't do it. And yeah, I was like, I lost the 5 pounds because I got, like, I had Montezuma's revenge the first time I was in Costa Rica, which I recommend against having that experience. It's just not fun. And so I was just like super, super weak coming back into it. I choosing lost like all 5 pounds I gained from lifting at that
like,
point.
Ever.
So exactly. So I was like super desperate to be like, no, like, cling to it, you know?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
then,
that's
like,
it. Just the clinging.
No. And then like
that's the thing is, the barbell won't let you lie.
No.
It will not let you lie.
It's like Mother Nature, except just a chunk of fucking steel.
Yeah. But to go to what you talked about earlier about how it parallels to life, I think that's so true. Like, Elliot Hulse always says this too. It's not about what you do, it's about the person you become through doing that thing.
Yeah, that's
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I felt that in my own experience because, I don't know, I've probably thought I was going to go a half a dozen, maybe a dozen different ways with my life and career.
Oh, totally.
Just during college, and I'm sure there's another several dozen, realistically, based on the odds, just because it's only been 4 years, to come.
Oh, totally.
But I'm becoming someone who can handle more in life. I'm like, I crave challenges in life. Honestly,
absolutely. And it kind of helps you level up, you know, little bit by little bit. And I think it's a really interesting feeling when you kind of do feel like leveling up and kind of going and pushing through to those really difficult, challenging experiences that, like, you know, are going to screw you up. For me, that was salsa dancing. I started doing that a couple weeks ago because for me, dancing was something I'm always so insecure about. I was like, you know what? Time to go take this one out and, you know, get rid of it. And so I did. And now I think I'm like, you know, 4 into it. I'm by no means really good, but I'm actually like halfway decent at this point. So, like, I'll still make the girl look absolutely terrible because I don't know what I'm doing on the lead. But it's like it's a hell of a lot better than it would have been a few weeks ago, and certainly a lot better than if I never started. So it's just a matter of kind of pushing yourself into those scenarios that you know you're going to screw up. Not even to the degree, and actually Mike Tornabene says this, I actually love this line. He's like, when you start something new, it's not even just it's not even just that you're going to suck at it, it's going to feel like you should not be doing it. Like, that's how badly it's going to suck. Like, that is the degree. And it's being able to push past the point, having the perseverance to push past that point of the goofiness, the stupidity, or the difficulty of what you're doing, and pushing past that point when you're just like, this is ridiculous, I suck, why am I doing this? I shouldn't be doing this, I should go do this other thing that is far more logical, you know, and it's just practicing.
Stay comfortable.
Exactly.
Stay comfortable.
Like, do the easy thing, because, you know, life is always going to have its challenges, but doing the easier thing. Absolutely. So I think, actually, that's such a great line. I remember that all the time. It's great. But
yeah, that's a great one, especially because a lot of people feel that way. Like, I don't know.
True,
I'm lucky enough to have been put in sports when I was young, so now whenever I kind of try and do any athletic thing, I'm at least halfway decent at it.
I can't relate to that because of martial arts and swimming. There's no hand-eye coordination, no real, I mean, martial arts helps a little bit, but, like, no real understanding of how you move in space on land. Like, put me in water, I'll be fine. But, like, I mean, just fucking forget it on land. Another reason why dancing helps.
But you're so right. Like, anytime I put myself into something where I'm just, like, totally out of place.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that was yoga when I started. Like,